Well, everybody knows about my fascination for the portrait as a concept. The face of different people representing the diversity of humanity. The feeling, the spirit, the soul of that person, but in a so wide way that also could represent all of us. Normally, those portraits are larger than life, but I guess it's because the portrait or the head becomes a space in where we have room to be in. And many times it's accomplishing something that is always in my mind, which is to try to go inside the head of somebody else. Because our brain, our head, is like something that we can call the palace of wisdom. It's the place where everything happens, our dreams, our wishes do something. And the body is a little bit the pillar of that amazing head in where everything happens. It's probably the wildest part of our body. I would like to invite the people to come to my show and to enjoy my work, but especially something that I love to expand around, which is the silence. One of the main ideas behind my work is to fabricate silence. We are in a very strange moment, a very noisy time, with a lot of messages coming up, arriving to us, and we finally don't know anymore if our words are coming from us or we are just repeating as an echo. I guess to understand my work, you must to try to understand yourself. That means that you must to try to be silent in front of the pieces, to try to listen the sound of your body, and to try to listen the sounds of your messages. I'm incredibly interested about you, and my work is just an excuse to talk about you. And all those portraits that they have the eyes closed in a kind of dream state position, they want to be just a mirror in where you can be reflect and to try in some ways to think about the quantity of beauty that you are hiding inside yourself. Let's talk about the beauty that you have inside. The show composed by this group of trees, which for me is like a valley surrounded by mountains, which are the basalt stone portraits. It's 7 trees, 7 figures embracing the trees, 7 stones, 7 portraits of 7 specific young women. And then it's 7 drawings in the other room. Also, I'm just insisting in the number 7, but because it's a number. Because I have also the number 2, I have the number 1, I have the number 3. I guess numbers are so important. 21, which is 777. And the most beautiful moment will be when people are coming in, filling up the emptiness around the sculptures, really giving a sense to those sculptures. That means that everyone will be selecting, maybe choosing, that is my preferred piece, that is amazing, I don't like this one, I prefer the other. And that is when sculpture is getting alive, is getting an incredible new path, because it's leaving the original home to start something else around the world. And like families, they get spreading around for museums, galleries, collectors, doesn't matter. But now it's the origin, it's when the piece is not one object, is one work. And the people in between will start the way to be integrated in a community.
We are in this mainly sculpture show in Beelden aan Zee, but in that room we have 7 works on paper, and as many, other sculptures, like, if you consider, for instance, Michelangelo, or in the 20th century, Rodin, many sculptures used to draw and to use the paper as, kind of complement of their work in 3 dimensions. Plensa always says that sculpture is a very long time process, because between the idea and the result you have a lot of time doing research, doing projects, doing studies. So it's a different relation to the time, and with the works on paper you can go immediately, more or less, from the idea to the final result. So in these drawings, in fact, what is Jaume Plensa doing is to try to design a new geography of the human body, and you have all these, big figure of human bodies with different faces, but at the end different contents. But at the end it's always the same shape, and it's always about being a human body, being a human being. As if finally our organs, the different parts of our bodies, would be like islands in the ocean or in the sea. And gathering these islands, you are making a body living, in fact. So, there are numbers, there are letters, there are words, but it's always the same shape of this body and the same geography of that body. Plensa is showing us, in fact, that we are like continents. We are moving, and we are all part of the history of humanity. And as the continents were moving centuries and millenniums ago, we are also moving to some new adventures we do not know. And as in his culture, in fact, Plensa is always speaking and showing us what would be to be a human being, to be a man, and to live in this world, full of different contents, different civilization, different cultures, different languages. But a man is a man, a woman is a woman, and we have to deal with that community, the community of being human.
Seems always, I guess, in my work I'm trying to capture the human condition, something that it's nothing that belongs to one specific person. I have a group of portraits that it's my self-portrait, but also specific portraits of other people all around. And each one with their own personality also could represent all of us. I guess for me, sculpture is like a mirror in where you can get completely reflected. Your own image is reflected in my piece. And I guess it's a way to embrace you and me at the same time. I think it's, well, the key or the main subject of my work, to try to talk about the invisibility. The most important things in life normally are invisible, and how to manage with something physical to talk about something invisible. And I guess the key is the viewer. When somebody is coming to my piece, is introducing a new soul inside. And my piece, my experiences, and him or her are getting as one. And that, I guess, is the key of my work.
The process of the project exhibition started after Jaume visited the space and he came to the studio. We built the model of the space where we are going to have the exhibition, and then we can understand better how it's works, and we discuss everything. But always he has in his mind where he wants to install the sculptures. And then we start to discuss about the light, the position, how it works well with the people working around, and everything about the communication between the sculptor and the space. And it's a long time that we know each other. I know what he's looking for. Then I can find the way that he wants to install the sculpture. We don't need words sometimes because we know each other and we can speak without words. And it's more easier, no? When two people are speaking the same language, and then you can get what you want, no? And then to manage the team when you are in the show, you must to feel confident what are you doing with the sculpture installation, because sometimes it's so heavy and so fragile, and it's not the same working at the studio because we have all the tools that we needed, and at the museum there are more things that take time, but we need to accept and manage. Sometimes hard, sometimes more easier, but at the end we get what we want, no? I don't pretend to be the best, but always we are working to do the best, no? That's quite different.
I have to say that a show at Beelden aan Zee is a terrific experience. I still remember the first time I came over here to visit the site. I was incredibly impressed about the architecture, the positioning in the dunes, right in front of the sea. I was born in front of the ocean. We are right in front of the main element of communication, which is water. For me, it's incredibly exciting. The water is the main bridge that connects with all of them, with the rest of humanity. I guess it's the main public space in life. It's the incredible, poetical idea of non-stop in your life. Water never could be seen twice. Obviously, that idea of the museum, a little bit in a very strategic position in front of the ocean, it's also in duality with a very discreet way to be built. It's almost inside earth. And I love that. I mean, I guess it's the water in front and this idea to disappear in the dunes, which I guess is beautiful. I guess also it's very exciting that I'm in a museum completely dedicated to a sculpture and in many ways to portraits. And I guess that was a terrific invitation for me because mainly I'm a sculptor working with portraits. And the installation at Beelden aan Zee, it's actually my first main show in this country, in Netherlands. And I hope people really could enjoy not the sculpture, but the message in the sculpture. It's not, the sculpture is a bottle with a message. And I had right in front of the ocean could be beautiful.